What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise. I'm so excited to finally get this thing started for you guys. Operation Sports full minor league rosters have been released as of yesterday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's out there. It's official. It's out there. We're in spring training here for the Rangers, and we went over the roster using a different roster set in episode number 2, but pretty much the idea behind it remains the same. We're in rebuild mode. Okay, guys like Joey Gallo, I want to see what he does this season. For us, if he plays well, you might as well keep him. If he stinks, he's hitting 207 still, 206, 209, then it's time, right? It's time, because the average you just can't deal with that average. I know a lot of people have argued that the power is there, you might as well take it. I don't see it. Rugi Odor, I want to see a little bit more out of him this season as well. Shin-Soo Choo is going to be bye-bye. Bye-bye. He needs to be traded. Same thing as Druba Cabrera. Both those guys don't really fit in the rebuild mode. Chris Martin, pretty solid reliever. There's really no reason to trade him at 78 right now. He can still provide some value in the pitching staff on a limited basis. Drew Smiley, 77. Pretty good starting pitcher still at 29 years old. No reason to really trade him off quite yet. We'll have to see how he does for the remainder of his contract, which, by the way, is this season. So, he's in that contract. He's in that contract year. We'll have to see how he does. And if he's able to be re-signed, then we'll give him another shot for next year. All right, so this is the minor league rosters from Operation Sports, as I mentioned, and we have a lot of players that have seen an overall change, an overall grade change, as well as potential change. And mainly, the guy that I'm looking at is Leody Taveras. He went down, and he went down hard. Went down to a 57 overall, A potential. I kind of agree with it, though. After seeing film on him and kind of what he does, this seems to make sense. I mean, he's hitting 240, 230 type of thing down in minor leagues. He's got a lot of things to work on as a hitter. Defensively, though, he's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. Got that 75 speed. He can do some things, but he's still young. He's got that raw talent. I like him. I think that he can do some things at the big league level eventually. It's not going to happen right away. He's going to have to build himself up, and that's what's going to happen in this franchise series too. So we're going to give him every opportunity to try to grow and become our center fielder of the future. Remember, he's 6 years behind Delino DeShields, which is our starter. So even if Taveras, it takes him 4 years and he's 24, I want to keep him here. I want to see what he can do. That A potential, he's going to be shooting up. He's going to be skyrocketing up our system. Juan Pablo Martinez, 65 at an A. He's 23. He's got the makings of being a really good player. I want to see what he does as well, and we'll give him the call-up. Out in right field, Nomar Mazara kind of got a little bit of a knockdown too. He's at a 74, which I know that Rangers fans really like this guy, and I like him too. But when you're hitting 250, 260, that's kind of the range at which you're going to be labeled. You do have that A potential, but at a 74, that seems about right. That arm strength, that good defensive right fielder, I think that's fair. I think it's a fair grading for Nomar Mazara. I would knock down Hunter Pence a little bit more than Mazara, because Mazara, let's face it, he's just more talented than Hunter Pence, right? So I think Pence needs to be down to like a 70 or 72. I think that would make more sense. Calhoun kind of got a little bit of a knock there. He's a 64 in this roster. With the A potential, I like that. But at 24, I want to see him actually take that next step down in the minor leagues. I really want to see him take that next step, because we need him to. We need him to. He's a talented hitter. But at 64, at 24, things might start getting away from him a little bit, and he might never reach that potential. So I don't want to see that happen. If he doesn't grow by 26, then we got kind of a problem. Here's a player right here, Alexander Palma. He is a New York Yankees prospect, and we actually signed him to a one-year deal in the free agents in this roster set. I'm not sure why he was in the free agents, but you know what? If he's there, I'm taking him. Plus, the really cool thing about Operation Sports in this roster set is they like to keep everything up to date as far as real Major League rosters go. And Edinson Volquez is on the 40-man, but he's in the single A level. That's because he is injured, so they didn't want to put him on the Major League roster and then have to force you to cut him or move him down to send him down to the minor leagues and then have to possibly have him go through waivers, get released, and all that. So it's really good on them to do that for the franchise players. Cool. He's actually contemplating about retirement because of the elbow injury that he's facing. So I think for this purpose, once we start, we're going to keep him on that 40-man, but we'll keep him down in single A just to make it realistic, like he's not actually on the big league club. So possibly little glitch in the system here. 25 men on the 40-man roster. This is the 40-man roster right here, and what I did to populate this is actually go into the Texas Rangers 40-man roster online and check and see who they started off with. There's a little addition there. Ended up putting him on the 40-man just because I like him. And that's been populated, so the 40-man is correct. And that's going to be the spring training roster for you guys. I'm going to actually put all these guys on the major league level. I'm not going to show you guys that. I'm going to just go ahead and get into spring training. But that is your Texas Rangers roster as we go into spring training. So we're going to go ahead and simulate now, see how these players do, and get a stats update. So we ended spring training at 9-18. Drew Smyly finished his spring with a 5.58 ERA, and we're going to go get a stat update right here and right now. Leclerc with 5 innings, finished with a 1.59. Rougned Odor finished with 338, 14 ribbies. So he actually got a +2 overall boost coming out of the spring. That's a good sign for me. Elvis Andrus, 287, not bad. Gallo doing Gallo type of things with a 203 batting average and 7 home runs. Chu, he's going to be a guy that we're going to trade. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. He's going to be a guy that's going to go bye-bye by May at the earliest. Asdrubal Cabrera, 303. It's good to see production out of that spot, but again, he's going to be one of those players that's going to get moved early on. To Shields at a 272. Chris Martin here with 3 innings with a 3 ERA and .67. Mike Minor didn't pitch terribly. Lance Lynn with a 3.16. Drew Smyly, like we talked about, 5.5. Mazzara, not good. I want to see more a little bit. 2.68. Shelby Miller was god-awful. 9 ERA in 19 innings. Don't like that. Jesse Chavez was really good, though. Was really, really good. 1.1. 2.65 for Hunter Pence, so he brought it back a little bit. Logan Forsythe still hitting the cover off the baseball. 32 at-bats, 344. Wisdom, 381. That's what we like. That's what we like to see. Mathis got a little bit of a bump. Guzman turned his spring around to 364. John Mar Gomez, that hurts a little bit with a 5.9. Zach Granite, you guys see him right there. Kiner Falefa, 227. And then Willie Calhoun hit 370 this spring. You know, I think we're gonna have to give Willie Calhoun a call. Honestly, you hit 370 down in spring training with 27 at-bats. I think that's a pretty good enough sample size to give him a call-up. Palumbo actually got his ERA down a little bit, but it's still not acceptable for a big league pitcher. He's going to have to work on his stuff down in the minor leagues. And then Scott Heineman ended his spring with 14 at-bats and 214. So he's also, I like him, but he's going to have to work on his stuff too. Pitching rotation has been set. Mike Minor going to get the opening day start. Lance Lynn, the number 2. Drew Smyly, the number 3. Shelby Miller, number 4. And Ariel Jurado, the number 5. So I know that Jurado is hurt right now, but I kind of figured because of the point of this rebuild is that we're trying to see what our young guys are going to do. Jurado is going to get that number 5 nod. Could have gone with Adrian Sampson at that number 5, but you know I know that I'm trying to balance the realism factor plus kind of giving our best chance to win games here too, and Ariel Jurado is going to get the nod. That 99 velocity, it's really hard to not give him the nod here. All right, so going off of Chris Woodyard's lineups that he has delivered in the past, we're going to be going against the righties. We're going to be doing Shin Chu Chu at the leadoff spot, Odor number 2, Andrews 3, Mazzara 4, Gallo 5, Cabrera 6, Guzman 7, Mathis 8, and DeShields 9. Against the lefties, we're going to go DeShields at the leadoff spot. Odor and Andrews keep their number 2 and number 3 spots. Gallo gets the bump to cleanup hitter. Pence getting the start at DH against lefties, since he does hit lefties fairly well. Actually better than he does against righties. Mazzara bumping down to the number 6. Cabrera becoming the switch hitter. When you look at Cabrera's numbers at a 92 contact and then 47 power, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense at the number 7 spot, but maybe I would have bumped him up a little bit. Maybe up to 5th. You know, put Mazara number 5, put Cabrera 6, Mazara 7. But, you know, Mazara, still that young hitter right in between the two oldies right here, the two vets. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Ronald Guzman gets down to the number 8, and Jeff Mathis at the number 9 against lefties. So just taking a quick look at the current weekly budget and the player salaries that are going to be coming off the books here for us in the future. It's a little bit misleading of a graphic, so don't think that it's taking into account every single one of our players, because in 2022 we're not going to have anybody around still, right? I mean, we're going to have Odor, we're going to have Elvis Andrus here in 2022. So it's always going to trickle down. It's always going to go downward and see that trend. But I'm looking at Shin-Soo Choo eating up $21 million, right? This is a player that we're going to have to move at some point in the season. It's going to help our cash flow. It's going to help us during free agency talks and acquiring players in the offseason as well. And, you know, only giving us about $755,000 in cash flow, I want to have more flexibility. I want to have more flexibility with our funds so that we are able to acquire new players and trades. Because a lot of this, trying to trade Shin-Soo Choo away, he's going to eat into that contract space and that cash flow that the other team's going to have to pay for him as well. So it's really difficult to move him. And hopefully with all the other trades that are going to occur this season with the CPU, hopefully that it works out in our favor where Choo can actually get moved with some ease, and the quality that we get back, the players that we get back, makes some sense. I won't go into scouting quite yet. That'll be in another episode, but we're basically going to be looking for catchers, pitchers, and young infielders. That's really what we're going to be looking at. A lot of smooth glove type of guys here. Some power in that infield would be nice. Contact in the infield would be nice. A lot of things in that infield that would be nice, but we don't really have a true young catcher. Kiner Falefa, not that really good defensive catcher, at least rated in the show here. So we're pretty old. You know, Jose Trevino seems like the best bet to get that call up and be that defensive catcher that we need, but the contact numbers are just not going to be there. So yeah, we need to get a stud catcher here for Texas. And you know, as far as the infield goes, we do need to get an infuse in talent right there. So it might mean that we're going to draft a second baseman. It might mean that we're going to draft a young third baseman, because honestly, guys, we don't really have it. Pitching staff, at least the bullpen, is extremely old. Not a lot to love here as we get deeper down. Yeah, and then the starting pitching is not too good outside of like Hans Kraus, Cole Winn, Taylor Hearn. We need to get an influx of young talent.
MLB Network's coverage of Major League Baseball is on the air. Opening day is here as we get the new season underway with a good matchup between the Chicago Cubs and the Rangers.
All right, opening day. Here we go at Globe Life Park in Arlington. I'm still going to call it the ballpark in Arlington, though. That's just how I grew up with it. It's probably what you're going to hear me refer to it as. So if I do say that, just know I'm an oldie. Kyle Hendricks going to be starting for the Chicago Cubs. Now, when we're looking at this lineup, we have to understand that this is still pretty much the same team that won them the World Series a couple years back. So we're going to have to be on our A game. We can't take this Chicago Cubs team for granted. I know they're struggling in real life in 2019, but that's not this. That's not this. The pixels on the screen, right? We got to take care of business here. Quite a few righties that we're going to have to watch out for as Mike Minor gets the start here, the lefty. Ben Zobrist, not one of them. He's kind of a pesky little on-base percentage type of player. We need to get him out, though, so that the other bashers behind him, being Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Wilson Contreras, those types of players don't hurt us as badly, because they're probably going to hurt us at some point. It's just a matter of how bad are they going to hurt you. So we do get the first out. Zobrist going to fly out to left fielder Shin-Soo Choo, and third baseman Asdrubal Cabrera makes a nice throw from third base to get Albert Almora for the first two outs of this game. So the Cubs seeming to be aggressive here against Mike Minor. Now again, we can't start nibbling around the corners against these guys. Now you can. Since you've got Chris Bryant up here, nobody on You don't really want to give him anything to hit. So I guess you can kind of dink around and dink and dunk a little bit on the corners. But you do have Javier Baez in the back there, on deck circle, right? So it's a little bit dicey here. So Mike Minor's still not giving in. He's going to attack Chris Bryant here to try to force him to make a bad swing on something. So we're going to try to get that slider inside, and we do, and he hits a rocket right at the Gold Glove winning Elvis Andrus to make the play. So first inning, 3 up, 3 down, nothing hurt. Rangers coming up to bat in the bottom of the first. There is the lineup that I covered just a few moments ago. Same deal. Shin Soo Choo coming up to bat here. Going to take a ball to the outside that looks like a sinker. Kyle Hendricks, one of those pitchers, though, guys, that is not going to overpower you at all. He's got a lot of junk, they call it, a lot of off-speed type of deal here. That pitch was actually a changeup that he is going to mix in quite a bit. It's got the same type of movement as the sinker ball does, except the sinker's coming in a little bit harder. So it's a really effective pitch, that sinker changeup duo, because it both kind of bottoms out off of each other. So it's a really hard pitch to see coming out of the hand here. But we get Rudy Odor on base with a single. So back-to-back singles here with nobody down. Elvis Andrus getting thrown that junk. 7 pitches so far for Kyle Hendricks, and this will be the 8th. That's a curveball, going to go a little bit wide. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Trying to nibble at that low and outside corner. And Andrus has to be wary of that, and he gets the dreaded changeup, the deadly changeup from Kyle Hendricks, and he strikes out on the 9th pitch of the inning. So Andrus visually upset, and he has a right to be. That was a good pitch, but it's a bad pitch to swing at if you're a hitter. Really, honestly. You can't be swinging at that kind of junk. You kind of have to figure that the pitcher's going to be trying to throw you with that kind of deal and get you to ground out, get that double play, get the first 2 outs of the inning. So not a good swing, not a good approach by Elvis. So here we go, 0-2 count, 11 pitches in. Nomar Mazara going to take a sinker at 86 on the inside corner. He's trying to jam him. So it's something to watch out for. And Hendricks with the deal, and he's got the changeup again. So Mazara strikes out. So now back-to-back strikeouts for Mazara and Andrus. Credit that to Kyle Hendricks. Joey Gallo coming up to the plate here. Now this is a crucial spot. We have runners on first and second. A home run, a big-time home run. What do we call it? A big-time boosh on this channel. Would be a 3-run shot. Would be a really good spot to come up huge. But Gallo being a little aggressive. Here. Had that sinker, low and in. Now he's got that dreaded changeup again. And again, with the change. This changeup has been absolutely deadly for Kyle Hendricks. And the Cubs are going to get out of this inning, and Hendricks is going to shake it off. So 2 hits for the Rangers in the bottom of the first, and nothing doing there. Javier Baez coming up in the next inning, and Minor is going to retire him as Ronald Guzman makes the play. And Anthony Rizzo going to strike out on a changeup from Mike Minor. So both pitchers are kind of going back and forth here a little bit. Here is a strikeout again, and Ronald Guzman not looking too comfortable up there against Kyle Hendricks. So against the shift, ooh, nice play. Nice play by Odor to retire Kyle Schwarber. Here's David Boat with a 1-2 count, and he's going to fly out to Nomar Mazara, who makes the running catch. That thing just kept carrying. That wind is blowing out to right field by the looks of it. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with already 1 down, and here is Chu, and he's going to get a high fastball, and it's going to fall right in front of Kyle Schwarber out there in left field. So Chu, now 2 of 2 now. Hey, Chu is 2 of 2. It rhymes. The jokes write themselves. Here's Odor coming up, and he's going to also send a ball the other way, and he's going to get another single. So this pairing with Chu and Odor are now 2 of 2 so far in the game. They're 4 for 4 combined. Elvis Andrus coming up in the same situation that he did in the bottom of the first. You got to come through now. You've seen it a couple times. You kind of have an idea of how Hendricks is trying to approach you. This is a good time to come through, baby. Come on. Trying to shoot for that curveball on the outside corner. This is how he's been pitching him in the first at-bat, too. A lot of off-speed stuff going to the outside with that curveball, so you got to watch it. So Andrus coming up And he is going to try to go the other way. Try to see the pitch come in all the way through. Don't get too early. Don't get too aggressive here. You got to take it the other way. Just same approach right here with a sinker that's going to get low and inside, kind of jam a little bit. Fouled it off. 1-2 count. Got to stay within yourself right here. Curveball. Oh, and Hayward dives for it. He missed it. He totally whiffed. Odor, Chu, rounding third. They will score. And Elvis Andrus coming up big time. Early part of this game. In the bottom of the third, the Rangers are going to take a 2-0 lead. And watch the replay right here. Curveball, that big sweeper. Andrus stayed back, and it paid off. The Gold Glove winner, and Jason Hayward, he can't even catch that line drive. So great approach, good hit by Andrus, and the Rangers are now shutting down the Cubs as we go in the bottom of the fourth. Mike Minor, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to let you guys figure it out at some point, right? But he's pitching well. He's pitching really good. He's pitching good. Joey Gallo gets a rare single to center field, and then Asdrubal Cabrera comes up in a 2-1 count and also gets a single. So Kyle Hendricks, guys, is just absolutely battling right now. He's grinding. He's battling against himself almost. And Guzman strikes out. Jeff Mathis comes up, and he's going to line over to first base in the foul territory, and Rizzo takes care of it. But, yeah, he's getting into a lot of early trouble, and the onus is now on us to come through. Here's Delino DeShields. He's going to ground out to Zobrist. Back over to second base. That's Baez covering at second. So Rangers threaten yet again. That's 3 times now that we've had runners on first and second and haven't been able to come through, except for one time. One time we came through. That was that Elvis Andrus double, that 2 RBI double. Baez going to strike out. That's the second strikeout for Mike Minor, and just blew it right by him. He couldn't catch up. Right over top of the bat. Here's Rizzo going to ground out into the shift. Third baseman, Cabrera, going to make the play. Wilson Contreras comes up and a line drive to center field, but it's going to get grabbed by Delino DeShields. So, uh-oh. Look at that box score. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Ooh, this is getting tense. This is getting a little tense here, guys. Kyle Hendricks going to strike out Elvis Andrus, though. So, again, both pitchers are dealing. They're dealing right now. Chu going to get underneath this one. It's going to be the second out in the top of the 6th. Here is Jason Hayward on a 2-2 count. The drama. The drama. Chu, get on your slow horse. He makes the catch. Oh, Mike Minor is pitching really good. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Don't you dare say it, guys. Don't you dare say it. Joey Gallo got a ground out here. It's a shortstop. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. 1-2 count. Cabrera up. And he is going to lift a fly ball out there to center field, and it's going to be camped under and caught by Almora. We're going to go to the top of the 7th with the box score remaining the same. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? I don't know. 7s are wild. We got 77 mile an hour. We got 7 pitches. I don't know. 8 minus 1 is 7. Ben Zobrist. Could it be? Could it possibly be? This is the lucky inning. We're going to find out, guys, right here. This pitch, line drive to right field. And Mazara can't get there. And the first base hit, the no-hitter, the perfect game is over. The perfect game bid is over. I feel like if Mazara would have dove for it, we could have had it, guys. But ground ball, going to get the double play. So at least we're still in a good spot to win this game, right? At least we're in a good spot. But it still hurts, man. It still sucks that that had to happen. And then Chris Bryant comes up and hits a long fly ball deep to center field, way back and gone. Deep center field shot. Solo home run for Christopher Bryant. That sucks because Minor had been pitching so well. He's only got 70 pitches so far in the 7th. And then Javier Baez is going to come up on a knuckle curve that Jeff Mathis had been calling such a great game behind the plate. And that one caught a little bit too much. It's going to be back-to-back home runs for the Cubbies. And this game is no longer in favor of the Rangers. We have a 2-2 tie. And you guys can see just how much plate that caught. And Baez is going to deposit that one for a solo shot. So, man, that sucks because He had been pitching so well and taking that perfect game all the way into the 7th. And isn't that the script? Isn't that usually how these types of deals happen? Your pitcher pitches so incredibly well, and then one hit hurts really badly, and then he loses it. So it's a 2-2 game here. We do get out of the inning, and here's a fly ball to right fielder Jason Hayward, and Hendricks is going to get out of the 7th with still a tie game. So we're going to go ahead and head to the top of the 8th, and Wilson Contreras hits a fly ball deep to center field. Can Shields get there? He can't get there yet. It bounces off the base of the wall, throwing back in. We're going to hold him to 2. And now's about the time that we're thinking that you got to pull him. You got to pull Minor, and we don't. So ground ball by Schwarber to first base. Guzman takes care of it. So now's the time. You could have technically walked this batter and got Sean Kelly a double play situation, but in a tied game, you don't really want to do that strategy. So here's going to be a strike being thrown by Kelly on David Boat. And with one down, a fly ball is going to get the run in, and you've got yourself a Cubby 1-run lead. But Kelly throwing that slider exclusively to David Boat. That's 2 sliders in a row. Jeff Mathis says he likes it. We're going back there. We're going back to the well. And strike 3 is going to be a swing and a miss. So Sean Kelly comes up clutch, and this one wasn't even close. I don't know what David Boat was looking at. But regardless, we are going to get out of this inning with a ground ball by Andrews. No! He throws Guzman off the bag, and you gotta have this, man. You're Elvis Andrews. Oh, so we were out of the inning, and Andrews with the error. He gets this line drive to end the inning, but you gotta know that he's upset at himself right there. You gotta have that play to get out of that inning. The Cubs now take the lead, and in the bottom of the 8th, Chu, who has been hot all game long, gonna lift a little fly ball to Zobrist at second. Kyle Hendricks' day is done as we see Mike Montgomery taking the mound, and he pitched well. He's very efficient, 82 pitches, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. He had a great game. Odor gonna swing and a miss. Try to check his swing right there. Couldn't hold up. So Odor's obviously upset with himself as well. So now's the time, Elvis, to come through and make up for that error. We do get a fly ball deep to left field. The fans are on their feet. But Kyle Schwarber is going to camp underneath it and make the out. So we go to the top of the 9th. Chris Bryant coming up. And he's going to swing and a miss at this fastball high and inside. Kelly now down 2-1. You got to be careful here. You don't want to give anything away here. Don't do anything dumb. 2-2 count. We're trying to shoot for a low pitch, and the curveball gets up high and deep to left off the foul pole. Chris Bryant with a solo home run, his second of the day, and Kelly gives up the lead to 2 runs. Now, Chris Martin going to come on against Javier Baez, and he's going to get himself a base hit as well. So the Cubs are coming on late. The bullpen kind of screwing us a little bit here. I don't want to really say that. Honestly, I really don't want to say that because that error, we had it. Mike Minor did the best that he could. Gave up those 2 home runs. Elvis Andrews with that error gave up the lead. And then now we're stuck trying to get the Cubs to make mistakes. And that's a very rare thing to do. So the Cubs, they get 1 run off that home run off the foul pole in style from Chris Bryant, and they take that 4-2 lead. We get out of it. Nomar Mazara going up here against Pedro Strop, and this ball hit hard, mid-range right field, but Hayward is going to take care of it. So not enough juice behind that contact being made to get it out of the ballpark here. Joey Gallo, this is a guy that you want up. And a line drive straight back to Rizzo. And Gallo, he's upset too. He knew he had a good pitch to hit. Cabrera trying to keep our hopes alive. Schwarber going back. Almora giving chase, and it's going to drop into the gap. And Cabrera is going to get on with a double. So we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. We need a home run. That's what we need. You can shoot for the base hit, but We want that instantaneous tie because this Cubs pitching staff is so good that you're probably not going to be having extended innings, right? Or extending hit after hit after hit. So we need a big-time boosh. We need a bomb. Come on, Guzman. 1-2 count. We know you can hit home runs, man. And against a lefty and a righty, you know you got an advantage here. But here's a cut fastball, just trying to catch that inside part of the plate. Didn't get early enough of a swing to pull it. He fouls it off. 1-2 count and a high cut fastball, and Guzman is going to strike out. And guys, the Texas Rangers are going to drop the home opener to the Cubs, 4-2. All things considered, it was a pretty good game. You know, I was impressed with the way that we played. It was just we gotta limit the strikeouts. We gotta limit the strikeouts. I feel like we had, what was it, 4 people on base, 4 men on base that we had an opportunity to score some more runs that we didn't come through with. So, you know, Cubs pitched well. They did a really good job. The bottom of our order did not. 0 for 10 with 3 strikeouts from Guzman, Matheson to Shields. Top of the order, middle of the order did pretty sound. But that error by Elvis Andrus really stuck with us. And there is the batting analysis for all of us. So fastball we do pretty well against. Changeup is a different story. We'll go ahead and look at the curves. A lot of curveballs coming from that right-hander. Hendricks sweeping from the left side to the bottom right. Sliders we did pretty decent against, but that changeup. I talk about that changeup. That changeup absolutely killed us, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next episode next week. Leave a like if you like this thing, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button for subscribe and the bell notification to never miss a single Rangers franchise upload. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.